The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry?
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend Dave and Auken. Welcome to the Fight Banana Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Gillian, the Savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
Hi.
Hello, YouTube world. Hello.
What happened?
What's up, Miss Maddie Levine? How are you?
I'm good, Dave and Auken. I'm losing my fucking mind because I started fidgeting with my light and my camera setting, and now I look like I'm back in 2006 emo mode, listening to Good Charlotte and uploading shit to MySpace.
My Chemical Romance.
Or that one. Yeah.
That stuff hit back in the day.
So if anybody has technical savvy advice that they can give me so I don't look like Avril Lavigne's album cover, that'd be really cool. Because that's kind of the vibe I'm putting down. But that's okay, because we don't need a camera setting to get through this really good show. We have a great show today.
The best, man. So pumped. Always so much going on. We live in this, I feel like we are lucky to do what we do, and especially the timing of it. I couldn't imagine doing a MMA show 10 years ago. That would be tough. A weekly MMA show 10 years ago would be insanely tough. It's not tough for us. Amazing UFC show. I thought like one of the best, maybe the best UFC Fight Night Apex show of the year was just this past Saturday. PFL Washington, D.C. I was lucky enough for that. Jake Paul, Francis Ngannou, a lot of that have so many fun, amazing stories, behind the scenes stories, and then just keeps on going. We got shows after shows after shows. It's a fun time. Elle Dawson will be on later. We got Yann Oliveira. He's the welterweight combat FC champion, round 140. I think we have Gillian Robertson at 2, maybe 210. We have Francis Marshall at 2. A lot of moving parts. You know, it's us. Parts.
I'm so excited to talk to Francis because what a friggin' fight, man.
Dude, that fight was incredible.
It was so good.
Yeah, so good.
It was so good. But let's rewind a bit. You had a great weekend in Washington. Well, week I should say in Washington.
Yeah.
You were a little bit of a tourist.
I've been saying this is my ongoing thing for a couple of days now, and it was the best MMA trip that I did outside of like MMA. It was the best trip of a city. This year alone, Charlotte, North Carolina, Anaheim, Biloxi, of course, my Pensacola, Nashville. Probably I'm missing one or two, maybe. I'm not sure. Washington, D.C. was amazing. Blew me away. The hotel we stayed at was amazing. Downtown was amazing. And then, Fight Day said it kind of doing some stuff. We were tourists. We walked the city. It was really cool. I haven't been there like in 20 years and 15 years, and to see like the Abe Lincoln Monument, Capital City, the White House, everything, we did it all in one day, kind of like one afternoon. Amazing. Yeah. And I was with a good group of guys. One just texted me just now making fun of me, so it was fun.
I have never been to Washington.
Go.
I never really had a desire. I don't know, but like, it's filled with history. I get it. Like, I think it'd be really cool. I don't know if I'd go right now though. Was it as like? Because I was concerned for you, but you were like
that. Others were like that too, Maddie. It was immaculate. Not felt one time unhinged or worried.
Unsafe, if you
no
will.
Bums. Yeah, like it was. I'm telling you, I have nothing but great things. The food was great. The travel was great. It was walkable. Uber, like everything. It was phenomenal. I'm telling you, A++. I can't recommend Washington, D.C. more.
Okay. You heard it here. More importantly, how were the fights?
The fights were pretty bad. The fights were horrible.
Oh no.
I'm honest. We're honest during this show.
We're honest here, baby.
I talked to a PFL like exec, and I literally said it to his face. I'll go, hey, the people that work for you, the behind the scenes people for the PFL are phenomenal. Some of the best people on this planet. They're kind, they're communicative. They're helping. PFL, hats off.
They enjoy their job.
Yeah, we will promote the PFL under this banner for as long as I'm in control of it, right? But the fights itself, fight night, it was bad. The fights weren't great. There wasn't a lot of star power. And then sometimes you thought this could have been the fight of the night. Most of them were kind of boring. I think there was 9 decisions in a row. The fights were bad. It is what it is.
Wow. That's
Just being honest.
unfortunate, man. It's
Yeah.
so unfortunate because we've talked about this time and time again. The PFL has such an awesome setup. Like the smart cage, the production, the catwalk, the behind the scenes workers, like the formula is there, and then they're just lacking on their roster, which is kind of an important part.
And even this though, Maddie, and I hate to, I don't want to get to the brass root of it. I guess we can. This is what we're doing here. When you make a playoff system and you can't control matchups, there's a reason why there are matchmakers. And to be brutally honest, there's a reason why it's a high level job and it's a high paying job. You create matchups. And I literally said it on my IG story and I didn't know we were going here. Dean Toole creates matchups. We talk about off here. It's like, dude, this is going to be a phenomenal fight. This guy likes the low kick. This guy's going to come through. This guy, like, it will jab behind it. There's reasons to the madness. They don't control that. They match make a tournament. So now in the final 4, you don't know who's going to fight each other. So sometimes it's 2 strikers and you think it's going to be good, but it's both. They're both counter punching. So now no one's punching and it's a boring fight. They're both grapplers and you think someone's going to throw it. There's just bad matchups. And then on the prelims, you would think they would throw some just like crazy, unique, exciting matchups. They don't. There's just nothing there. And also too, I said this so many times, the first 2 fights, they had fighters for PFL Africa on it. They're doing so many god dang things. They're trying to do PFL Africa, PFL Mana, and Bellator's in 2 weeks. And then they got their super card show. It's just, they don't put good fights together. They forget the essence of what they should be doing. It's just putting together good fights.
Yeah. And to your point about like, they're doing too much. You and I are very invested in the fight world and we're confused. So imagine, a person that's trying to become a fan or is a new fan, or they're just figuring out the PFL or whatever. They're going to have a hard time navigating this organization. Yeah, you can't make it difficult for people.
You're 100% right. Like, people are like, if you make it too hard for people, there's so many things on our phone. There's so many things to do. There's so many things to do on a Friday night. Other shows and streaming services. I just watched Mission Impossible the 2 times in a row, back to back. My son wants to watch professional wrestling. There's so many things to be done. So if you don't like cookie cutter, make it easy. Hey, Saturday night, the UFC is going to be on and they're going to be great fights. Some of the fights, maybe fighters didn't know. I didn't know the Joker, that female, the Wong chick
what was it? Chong Mei, I think.
Chong Wong. She was phenomenal. Like, I'm a fan now. One night. She dressed as the Joker. She talks the talk. She knocks someone out in 62 seconds. I'm a fan. Like, boom.
Yeah.
Like, they make it harder than it needs to be. The PFL makes it harder than what it needs.
Sure. I want to get her name right.
We'll get to it.
Wang Kong.
Dude, I'm a huge fan.
Oh my God. Seriously. Joe, we're definitely going to get to this.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, for sure. But let's switch gears and talk about UFC Fight Night over the weekend. So many good fights to talk about. Oh my God. I mean, perfect intro was Wang Kong. Dude. So I love her story. Elle and I talked a little bit about this on the Sunday Morning Brew. Apologies to everyone because my internet was fucking trash. And we kept skipping in and out. So hopefully my point got across, but if it didn't, we'll talk about it now. Wang Kong is such a unique individual because she's already knocking people out at 115 pounds. Yes, absolutely, Christian. Thank you for chiming in. So she has knockout power. She even said, she was like, I deserve to be on the main card. And here's why. Boom, knocks them out. She has a win over Valentina Shevchenko in Muay Thai kickboxing. That is insane. Okay? Amazing. That's insane. Yeah. So I have a feeling that she is going to be a rising star and she's going to be super fun to watch. The featured fight, we actually get to talk to Francis Marshall today about his huge decision win, but hats off to Bazookia. Both of them are such dogs.
the fight was incredible. Like, because you thought Francis had it kind of like TKO there for a second.
Yeah.
Dennis is like, "No, I'm here to fight 15 minutes, and I'm going to go to war with you." So yeah, like you said, hey, we're maybe pro Francis. He had Grant Dawson in his goddamn corner. So yeah, we were rooting for Francis Marshall a little bit. He's coming on the show, so we got nothing but love and respect for him. But like I say this all the time, we have nothing but respect on the other side. There's no ill will at all.
Absolutely.
Like Dennis Bazooka, come on next week on the show. We'd love to talk to you. Like
seriously,
cheers, like unbelievable show. Yeah, the fight was great. One more thing on the PFL, because I let's jump all into the UFC next. Because it was the whole, I got a little inside scoop. The kids on the street saying, maybe the little kids on the street. So the day before, the reason why we went was this main press conference, the Francis Ngannou and Henry Ferreira, and supposed to be Chris Cyborg and the rest of Pacheco press conference with Jake Paul, right? Making a post real quick on Twitter.
I was like, what's happening? You're telling a story.
So I guess even Jake didn't understand what his not goal, what his job was to be.
Role.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 100% right, Maddie. Even Jake didn't know what his role was. So when it started figuring out what his role was, of like, hey, he was literally, he kind of said it jokingly, but he was kind of like the Ariel Helwani or the Dave Van Auken of that spot. Like, the tea on the street is Cyborg didn't like that. Like, Cyborg didn't like that Jake Paul was going to like lead this dance. So, she had a family emergency and she wasn't there.
Bro, what the hell is going on with her? Dude,
the UFC, and love them, dislike them, anything in between. Like, they rarely, I feel like there's two people. It's Cyborg and maybe Francis are the only ones that are like anti-UFC fighter wise. Like, kind of like, yeah, everyone who doesn't want to get paid a little bit more for their work, right? We all want that. Other than that, everyone has good relationships. They love it. They respect it, all that. Dude, Cyborg burns bridges wherever she goes.
It doesn't make sense. And Elle and I were talking about this too. It's like, she is not helping her case whatsoever, because when you see her on social media, she's calling people out. She's in people's comments. She's sending DMs. She's constantly just berating her quote unquote potential opponents. And it's like, you don't even have a leg to stand on anymore, because it's like time and time again, you say you're going to come through and then, the contract doesn't get signed, or, you don't show up to a press conference. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. But anywho, any more tea before we move on?
That was that. Kind of seeing Jake Paul for a second was awesome, of course. I talked to Francis Ngannou for 15 minutes off air. So that was amazing. Like, that's always cool. And he really is a cool, organic guy. We just talked. It just felt off to, and this, Maddie, it's my style. Other people would probably put a camera in his face to get it on tape. It's just not my style as a person. I talked to Impa Kasanganay not once, but twice off air, different things. Great guy, great dude. I will be making a trip to his gym down in South Florida. We're going to do a fun thing, but he's one fight away from winning another $1 million. Is Francis huge? Yes, he is absolutely massive, guys. He is what you think, but you ready? Kenan is bigger than Francis.
Dude, when they squared off, I was like, he dwarfs Francis.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
It's a thing for sure.
It's
like, he
so
is
crazy.
that guy. He is massive. Like, I do think, and Elle Dawson said it weeks ago, I know she'll be coming on here in 20 minutes. I think Henry Ferreira is a live underdog for sure, but I don't know. I think Francis will win this fight. I think I think even Francis knows this is a big fight for him. Like, if he loses this one, 2 boxing fights in a row, you lost this MMA fight in a row, like, you can't be the biggest straw or the baddest man on the planet and keep losing fights. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that.
I don't think this is an easy fight for Francis.
Oh, it is not easy, Maddie. Not easy.
I don't think this is in the bag at all. Like, I think he needs to come with a game plan. I don't know how Ferreira's making 265. Great question.
It's a good one, Christian. The big thing that I saw, his upper torso is humongous, but then he's got like, I don't want to say it, but he's got like John Jones legs a little bit. He's got like John Jones chicken legs a little bit. So
yes, he does.
I think that's how he makes it. He's just massive and then slides right off.
He skips legs. He skips leg day, if you will.
Also, one last thing. Shout out to Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota and Fight Bananas. It's amazing. We have this awesome relationship. Saw her 2-3 different times, and the same kind of thing. Like, even another media member came to me like, "Oh, why didn't you get that on tape?" I'm like, "Dude, Dakota's just our. I hate to say it, like she's our friend. She's a part, like a little bit of the team. Her and Elle are really good friends. Yeah. So we talked, of course, about Elle. I saw it at a different time when we just talked about life in camp and fighting for $1 million and all that. Didn't tape it. Like I'm sorry, it's who we are with Fight Bananas. We create real organic relationships.
I think we all do that really well. Like we're all of us are really good at reading the room and understanding that fighters are allowed normal conversation as well. Like, yes, they might be giving you chef's kiss stuff, but fighters are worthy of having a conversation without a camera in their face.
I know. I agree.
And so I think we're all very good at kind of creating a boundary, creating a real relationship, and then being like, hey, if you got some time later, let's sit down, let's chat, whatever. Yeah. Joe, thanks, buddy. Cheers. But yeah, I'm glad you had such a good time. I had quite the Friday at work. I don't know if you remember last week I said I was going to have an announcement today.
Do you have the announcement?
I do have an announcement today.
Wait.
I may or may not have quit my job.
Whoa!
So, yeah, I quit my daytime job potentially. And here's why I say potentially. I work in full-time morning radio. So I'm up the ass crack of dawn every fucking day on Fun 107, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. We write articles daily. I'm constantly working, okay? But my true passion is MMA media and sports media and broadcasting. And yeah, I'm turning pro. Hell yeah, I am. I'm becoming a pro broadcaster, baby. So yeah, I am chasing my dream. I'm really excited about it. I'm about to annoy the fuck out of everybody online with how much I'm about to post and get my name out there and content out there. I'm going to do a selfish plug here. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube and all that good stuff because we're going to pump it up and Fight Bananas is going to get amped up. We're all going to, what is it? Something about ships. Rising tide. A rising tide raises all ships. So we're doing that. And then we burn the boats because we're quitting. Yeah. But thank you, Terry. Thank you so much for chiming in. So yeah, I'm super excited, but then they came back and they said, we will do anything to keep you. And I'm like, So I've created a couple of outlines and if they accept, they accept. But as of right now, I am full steam ahead trying to make a name for myself. And it all started on this podcast. So thank you. That's it.
There you go.
That's the show. See you later.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week here. And another hour and 40 minutes. Dude, and I know, so Ariel Helwani had a really big announcement this past week.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And I had a couple conversations with different people inside kind of the industry and outside. Like, I'm not trying to, it is what it is. There's not a lot of MMA outlets or shows or companies, whatever you want to say, that's doing a multiple hour live show, multiple guests, different things, different genres, man. Like, it's crazy. And again, the whole me going to Washington and people, by the way, there was the most media members in the history of any event I've ever went to, PFL Washington, because of this big press conference. And like, not to try to like, there was just a couple other media members were like, oh, wow, like whatever. Fight Bananas is here. Oh, that's cool. That kind of thing. And then like a couple of my buddies that we hung out and we were tourists that day were like, dude, like one guy said he was getting messages because they saw that they were hanging out with me. It's crazy. Like, it is wild. What's up, Jonathan? it's just wild the reach that Fight Bananas does have. It's
it's sometimes you get stuck in the vacuum, right? You get stuck. We're looking at our screens all day. We're looking at our camera all day, and then we take a step back, and then we realize, oh my gosh, we interacted with hundreds of thousands of people this week, and hopefully we educated them, inspired them, made them laugh, showed them something new about MMA, whatever it is. And that's the shit I'm chasing, man. That's like, I love being in front of the camera. I love talking about sports. So it's about fucking time I just get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I'm so excited. I might crash and burn, but you know what? Cheers, because I'm going to be able to look back and say I tried. And that's all that matters.
And I know Elle said it to you off air, so I'm sorry if I say this and it's crossing a line. I apologize. But like, if for one, there's no failing in life. If you fail in life, you learn a lesson, you move on. I have failed multiple times. I have filed bankruptcy in life. It happens, and I'm way better for it now. About to be 40 in 2-3 days. It's life. Everyone fails. You, as a person, and like I said this to you, and I've never told you to make that jump because it's like a huge responsibility thing, and I would never say that. But like when you said, I was like, dude, I'm so happy for you, because now with you doing it, it's like you can never, if the word is fail, you could just be like, hey, it didn't work out. Maybe that wasn't my destiny of this. Maybe I'm going to turn left and something else will find you, and whatever happens, happens. But it's like, you can say, I did it. Like I went for it. And then if you never did, you would always look back in life. There's always a high school girl that you didn't dance with or whatever. Or if there wasn't one more basketball practice that I should have went to, maybe I could have been a little bit better. There's always a little bit of regret, this or that. But like, if you go for it, it doesn't work. Find something else. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, all right. Enough of the sappy shit. Let's get back to the good stuff. I love it.
For sure. All right, UFC Vegas 96. I'm telling you guys, to me, it was one of the best UFC fight nights in the Apex all year. A lot of great fights. We set off the prelims. We got our guy, Francis Marshall. Then the main card. Guys, Gerald Meerschaert is a living legend.
GM3. GM3. Dude, I freaking love him. I love him. I hate his mustache. Love him. Love him.
I remember you told him that. Remember when you did that on the show?
I was like, bro, what's the deal with the mustache here? What a G! I was screaming at my television because I was like, please don't get finished. Please don't get finished. Please don't get. And then he does what he does. I mean, what an amazing accomplishment to have more finishes than Anderson Silva.
That's amazing.
Crazy. I'm just like, people's talking about who's the next. Duh, let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
And it's so funny, like, because we'll have Gillian Robertson on around 45 minutes. We'll talk about this, and we say it all the time. Like, she has more finishes than Ronda Rousey. It's amazing that some of these fighters go underneath the radar. Like, how is Gerald Meerschaert always an underdog, always overlooked? He's got more finishes in UFC history than the greatest middleweight fighter of all time, Anderson Silva. Like, we made a post about it, and it went very good on all of our platforms. Like, GM3 is in the history books for as long as I will live. Like, he is a historic figure in the UFC.
And he's so likable. Like, he's always a good fight. Like, it's always exciting. And it's just, he's a dependable fighter. And to your point, it's like, how are these fighters going, like almost under the radar? And it's like, it's kind of like life, right? Like, the loudest people always get the spotlight. Sure. The Sugar Sean O'Malley's, the Conor McGregor's, they get the spotlights. The quiet, average ones disappear. And then it's like those steady and true people that are in the middle that are keeping the UFC alive, that, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for them to get the spotlight. But God, I'm so pumped for him. That was such an amazing, amazing moment.
Real quick, man, I think you had such a good point. I want to hit on it again. I even feel myself, and maybe even Fight Bananas as a little like that. Again, back to, I could have had a 2-minute interview with Dakota Ditcheva and Francis Ngannou on the, hey, Raf, appreciate, I have a Rafael Esparza story. I'm going to tell that story right after this amazing story. Anyone that knows me, if they're good to my kids, I got to that in 1 second. Raf, 1 second. Let me finish my thought. people that have these like surgeon moments like a Sugar Sean O'Malley, and some of these guys fly to the highest highs. Like I love people and respect people immensely, like GM3 and Gillian. That's like, hey, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I might fall. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I win. Okay, keep falling. And there's something realness and organicness, and like now I know this might sound hyperbolic. I don't know anyone who like doesn't love GM3, like who doesn't totally respect him. Fighters respect him, fans respect him, people in the industry respect him because he's been doing it for so long, so hard, keeps his mouth like he's a hard working guy. I love that. I vibe with that,
Yeah,
so.
For sure. GM3, Dan Hooker, 2 guys with great career. Yeah. I mean, well,
Good one, Dawson.
If Dan Hooker keeps fighting the way he's fighting, I don't know about the longevity thing.
That's true. That's true.
But we're really happy to have him when we do.
Yes.
Big Dan Hooker fan. Potentially have like a tiny crush on him. Don't tell my husband. But he dyed his hair and got tattoos.
Are awful.
Blonde hair, tattoos, and I was like, hey Dan, what's up? Just kidding. My husband is literally
does have tattoos, but I don't think like he's a tattoo guy, and he has dark hair. Like that's the
he does. Well, he's tall, dark, and handsome. That's the type I marry for sure. For sure.
All right.
He's literally in the other room. We need to move on.
Real quick. Rafael Esparza. My son Dylan loves professional wrestling. Rafael and I, when he does the Better Bananas with us, shout out to him. Great guy, great host, co-host.
Just went to the show, right?
He sent a wrestling figure to my doorstep. I was in Washington, D.C. My wife and Dylan opens it. They open it up. It's a Randy Orton figure. He does the whole thing. Dude, shout out to Rafael Esparza. Anyone that does it that is good to my kids is good with me. So shout out to Raf. There you go. Amazing.
Love that. Because you just went to a show, right? The Raw, right?
Yeah.
They were just in, they were literally down the street from me last night at the Dunk. I should have gone. My neighbor is a huge WWE Raw fan, so he was definitely there. But, oh my God, if we got Dan on the show,
I'm going to DM him right now.
Hold you motherfucking horses. Your girl's available on the show, not in life. She's available on the show. I have a couple questions. That's it. Anyway, it's called window shopping, Dave. It's called window shopping. Anywho,
I'm just going to in the business. I'm just going to pause. You keep going.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm watching you.
I'm going to get myself
in Maddie's world now.
Damn right. Let's move on. Neil Magny, Michael Morales. What's next?
How good is that? Magny? Yeah, Rob, I know. I'm sorry. We go to YouTube for one show and we're X-rated now. I know, Rob. This is unbelievable.
This is what happens when I get caffeine. I get silly.
Unbelievable.
Back to the fights. Neil Magny. What's next for him? This poor guy.
The PFL will be great.
Yeah, I think they're going to be knocking down his door real soon. He looked old.
Too harsh. I know.
He looked
old.
And
like they've done it a couple in a row. They did it with Ian Gary. Now they're doing it with Morales. Like UFC, we get it. Like we see what you're doing here. Like, come on.
We know who you're trying to build up. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. What's the fight banana? Sorry. Welcome to the sorry. You go ahead, Dave. You go ahead. Okay, I'll press it. Welcome to the Fight Banana Show, Adam. Thank you for stopping by. You must have been on YouTube. Popped on over. Welcome to the shit show. We are an MMA show. Well, combat sports show. Yeah. And we love to talk about highlights and what's going on in the entertainment world of MMA and fighting. And we're currently talking about UFC Vegas. So, where are we? Oh, we got a lovely addition to the show. I think she's ready. Hi there.
Hello.
Welcome.
What's up? What's going on in the comment?
Oh, you missed
Matt over here.
Maddie's going for it right now. Usually it's me. It's Maddie this time. Just real quick. Is Dan Hooker a good-looking man? Is he attractive?
He's not my type, but he's not a bad-looking guy. I much would prefer previous Dan Hooker to the current.
That's
state
what
of
I
affairs.
said. That's what I said. The tattoos are really bad on him.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Listen. Listen,
Maddie's all about it. Jumping skeletons.
I
over there.
understand that his tattoos are horrendous.
And the blonde
don't-
hair just doesn't suit him.
Dude, I dig it. I dig it. I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna
Ross is
backtrack.
gonna bleach his hair.
Yeah, dude. Well, he's literally like in the other room and I'm over here talking about how I have a crush on Dan Hooker. So
It's an interesting one. Like
it's weird. I know. It's kind of like my friend having a crush on Steve Carell. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why do you have a crush on Steve Carell?
Funny.
I have a crush on Steve Carell.
Oh, stop it.
Like that's like there are people who are funny that aren't or they're less attractive, but they're hilarious. So it's like that makes sense.
Carly
like, that's
gets
like a
me.
personality crush.
Carly gets me. Team Maddie on this.
I did not see this coming. Real quick, I'm sorry we don't usually do this, but we are going to do this because it's funny, and I love the Hangry Dana. So first of all, they go shout out to Dollar Tree Laura Senko. That is so funny but ridiculous, dude. That is not Dollar Tree Laura Senko. That is the one and only Miss Maddie Levine. So
Wait, that's fucking funny though.
Come get some. Then this one's even maybe better.
Get a shirt that says that.
Is that Grant Dawson's twin sister?
Do we look alike?
No.
Dude,
Do we look
that's her.
anything alike?
White?
No.
Dude, come on, Hangry.
No.
I don't know. I'm for it. Hangry Dana.
I think he's trolling us. Don't fall for it, Dave. Don't.
No, I'm here for I mean, that's actually really funny. Like, I kind
I'm
of
getting Maddie a shirt that says Dollar Tree Laura Senko.
Please. I mean, that's actually really funny. Anyway, where were we?
So, Elle, first of all, Maddie just told the Fight Bananas world her big, amazing news about burning some of the boats and just like saying, "Hey, I'm doing this thing." I'm sorry, I'm doing. Hey, that's why we're on YouTube exclusively today. Come in hot, Hangry. We're for it.
We're so make sure you hit that subscribe button, buddy.
Yeah.
Hope to see you next week.
Hang out with us every week.
I just told the Fight Banana universe that I quit my job and I'm nervous and scared and all the things, but it's going to be great. And when I told them that I was quitting, they said, we will do anything to keep you. So we are currently in a negotiating process to see if we can work it out. We'll see. But on to bigger and better things. And I'm so excited and I'm doing it with the best team. So let's go.
For sure. And then we're breaking down UFC Vegas 96, hit on the main event. Oh, actually, we haven't hit on the main event.
We just got to Neil Magny.
Yeah. So Kaio, like to me, I think we talked about it like last week. I picked them. I just thought they were Kinnear's is like this. Kaio was like this. It's the right time. I think it was the right fight. Yeah. It made sense. But he even proved more than just winning the fight for him. When you go that 25 minutes and kind of dig deep and have high moments, I thought it was a phenomenal fight for Kaio and his career moving forward. Big moment for him.
No, I agree. I feel like Cannonier is always going to be somebody I think really highly of. I don't disagree that the trajectory is probably on the downslide now. I wish we'd seen him at middleweight quite a bit younger, quite a bit earlier in his career, but you know, what can you do? But yeah, this is huge for him. I honestly would like, I know they don't like to have two like young contenders fight in a division where they have lacked contenders in the past, but middleweight's now the story of this week's champion. I feel like it changes so regularly now. I think they can do that. And him and Imavov makes pretty good sense to me.
It'd be a hell of a fight, but yeah.
Imanov's fighting Brendan Allen right now. Do you think it makes sense if he loses that fight or wins that fight or either?
It would depend. It would depend if he loses, like if Brendan Allen like starches Imavov, that would obviously just huge trajectory for Brendan Allen, which would put him into title contention way sooner than normally I would think would make sense for Brendan Allen. While I think Imavov is already kind of steadily on the way there. I think Imavov is a very tough matchup for Allen. If he does beat Allen, it makes sense to do Kaio versus him after that. It kind of depends on how everything else goes. Like I said, this division's Like the
It's so busy.
keeps changing hands.
The division is very busy. Everybody's
Triple
booked
might have
and busy.
belt again, before any of that happens. Like, who knows?
Sure. Talking about having a belt, our first guest on the show is the Combat FC's welterweight champion, 6-0. That's pretty damn good. Usually 6-0, you're fighting on tonight's show, the Contender Series, maybe trying to fight for the UFC. First time coming on the show. So pumped to have him on. He will be fighting on Combat FC 8 on September 13th. Let's welcome Yann Oliveira to the show for the first time. Yann, my man, how are you?
I am good. How are you? How y'all doing?
Doing good, friend. Doing good. Thank you so much for coming on and joining.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You got quite the setup. Yeah, you got quite the setup. Where are you joining us from?
Dude, beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm actually by right near my warehouse. I have a warehouse in I own a construction business, and I have a warehouse in Newton, New Hampshire. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna set it up right in the bed of my truck. It's a beautiful day out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
beautiful. So not only are you an MMA fighter, but you're a business owner as well. And I was checking out your Instagram. It looks like your construction business does a lot of philanthropy and giving back. And did you just do something for a veteran?
I did, yeah. Recently, we had a veteran that needed a ramp built for his wife because she was no longer mobile. And so we built him a ramp, and then we have another veteran, a Marine, who we're going to be donating siding to for his house. So that's something that we love doing for veterans is giving back, giving back to our community and helping the people who have fought for us,
That's incredible, man. That's awesome.
Love it. Love that.
Thank you.
Love it. My first question for you, I know we're going to talk about Combat FC 8, but almost like I said, that's more about you and your story. I saw it was a major layoff. Am I right? 2014, you're 2-0. Maybe thinking you're going to be, you tell me, on your way, professional fighter and winning fights. 10-year layoff of your second and third pro fight. Why was that? What happened during that time? Did you fall out of love with it? Did you just kind of life happen? What happened in those 10 years?
So I took a break. I fought. The last time I fought before that break was Franklin Isabel, and I ended up fighting him. It was actually the night of my birthday, December 13th, and I knocked him out in 13 seconds of the first round. And I was having a daughter, and I took the time out because I wanted to be present. I wanted to be a dad. I wanted to be more present. I wanted to be with my family. I was training every day. I worked every day. At that point, I was not working for myself. I didn't have my company yet, but I went to work every day by 6:30 in the morning. I didn't get back home till 6 o'clock at night, and straight from work I went to training, and I realized that I was missing a lot of precious time with my family and getting to watch my daughter grow. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a year off, maybe 2, and just be a dad and get to watch my daughter grow. And it ended up being a very long break. I went into that break to be a dad and never came back. So over the years, I kept up with everybody fighting, the local fights, and and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna go back. I want to get back into fighting. Now it's time. I got to watch my daughter grow. I own my own business, so I can make my own schedule, so I can take the time, to stop at home, see my kids, and go to sports and do all that good stuff while, working and training at the same time. So, truthfully, that is the reason. I just wanted to be a dad.
I love it. Dude, massive fan. Yeah, massive fan. That's probably the best reason possible. Dude, I'm a dad of 4. There's nothing better on this planet. And brother, huge fan. I was so impressed with you with the whole giving back to the veterans, and now you're the whole dad story. It's like, dude, I got a man crush on my man Yann over here, guys. Dude, nothing but love.
I appreciate it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it. We heard Maddie's crush today. Now Dave has a crush.
Yeah.
Real quick, Brendan Allen is back. We'll get into that later. Hangry Dana, dude. Hangry Dana's new to the show in the comment section. We got nothing but love. We'll go all of them, but we got a good interview right here, Yann. Elle or Maddie, anything else for our main man, Yann?
Yeah. Speaking of layoffs, you're fighting Chris Foster. I was looking at him. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right guy. Last time he fought quite a few years ago, was it featherweight? Is this
Last
right
time
guy?
last time he fought was at featherweight, and the guy has so I myself have fought at bantamweight before. I fought a bantamweight, I fought a featherweight, and I fought a lightweight before.
Wow.
So I used to cut from 185 to 135. So I did that one time, and that was brutal. That was tough, but I did it. But yeah, Chris and I we're both a lot bigger dudes now. Chris is a big boy now. He's no featherweight, I can tell you that. He's probably walking around.
I was like, this can't be the right guy.
Yeah, no, it is the right guy. He's a bigger dude now. He's probably walking around somewhere 200, 205, I would guess. But he's a big, strong dude. So, and Chris Foster has fought some tough guys. I mean, he fought Calvin Kattar, Rob Font.
Yeah.
He took Calvin Kattar to decision. He's coming off 2 straight wins in Bellator. So I know it's been a while since this fought, but you can clearly tell that he's been training, because last time I saw you, the dude looks jacked. Looks like he's been hitting the gym hard.
That's wild.
Does that excite you? Like, tough fight coming up? Like, how does that make you feel?
It makes me extremely exciting. This is what I need. This is what I want. I want tougher fights every time. I don't want to fight down. I want to fight up every time. And this is a very exciting fight, especially because Chris and I, we a long time ago, 12 years plus ago, they talked about having Chris and I fight each other at 145. That's a fight that should have happened a long time ago, and it never did. So it's exciting to me to fight Chris, and not only because he's a very exciting fighter, he's tough, he's a pressure fighter, and I'm a pressure fighter. So it's like, man, this is gonna be dynamite. We're gonna try to pressure each other. But I am extremely excited for this fight. Nothing but respect for Chris. He's a game opponent, tough as nails, and a win over Chris puts me in a very interesting situation. He's a good win on my record. So I'll be 7-0 and championing 2 different weight classes. Champ. 170 and 185. So after that, what does the UFC want? What do they want from me? I don't think there's anything else for me after that. I think it's a straight shot to the UFC.
So you don't even want the Contender Series. You just want straight to the roster.
I want straight to the roster. I don't think I need to go to the Contender Series. I really don't. I will not. I don't like to tell gym stories, but I did spar a UFC middleweight at one point, and I knocked him out cold in a gym.
Well, there you go.
I'm not going to drop names because again, it's not stories you tell. You don't talk about your wins, especially in the gym. But I can say, I have knocked out a UFC guy in a gym before, and as a matter of fact, it was a beautiful knockout, I will say.
Send us the footage, John. We won't do anything with it. We don't want to watch.
I can't do that. That's just disrespectful. But I will say, when he came to, he did say, "Wow, that was beautiful." He
oh, jeez.
was like, "You got me. Oh. So, I think I'm ready. I think I'm at a good spot. I think I am perfectly fine to go right into the UFC, and I know I can beat a lot of those guys. So,
well, it looks like you're going for the Combat FC middleweight title to add to your collection of Combat FC belts. You're going up in weight for this one. Going down September 13th, right? And it's in. Is it Mass? It's going to be.
Yeah, it's right outside of Boston.
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, you're gonna be there?
Hopefully we can see each other there. I'd love that. That'd be great. I live in Rhode Island, so I might as well take the trip.
Oh, you should. Say hi. Definitely come say hi.
I'll say hi in the winner's circle. That sounds about right.
You're damn right you will.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah, I love it. When I looked you up on Topology, it's a wild stat, 6-0 already, but you've never seen the score, the judges' scorecards. Is that
No.
a major goal of yours? Is that just kind of coincidental how it's happened? Is that just a mindset like, hey, like you said, with the pressure and you just moving forward, you're going to get the finish sooner or later? Is that just the fight style of how you fight?
There's a lot that goes into that question, and I will say what made me become the fighter to not let it go to the judges is my very first fight ever was an amateur fight. I got robbed so bad. Man, I walked out of that fight looking exactly how I look right now, without a single scratch, a mark, nothing.
Oh, no. I think he got a phone call.
The phone call or overheat, maybe. You never know. All right,
Oh, I
let's bring him
bet it
down.
overheated. I bet it
let's see
overheated.
Is it that hot in Massachusetts?
It's a little toasty today.
A little warm.
I like this guy a lot. Am I off?
Like 80
That's awesome.
degrees today. It's a little warm up here. No, he's great.
He's awesome.
He's great. Well, hopefully he can oh, there he is.
Oh,
There he is.
there he is. He's back.
There he
Hello?
is. I think did your phone overheat?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
We're good,
Can you hear
Yann.
us?
He might be having some technical
Oh,
difficulties.
no.
That's all right. Yeah, what a great guy. I mean,
Dude, awesome.
devoted dad, business owner, veteran supporter, and he's fighting
Yeah.
September 13th. So hopefully I can make my way out there.
I'm sorry,
Hungry
guys.
Dana over here.
Hangry Dana
Hangry
is just going to have his own 15-minute segment of the show pretty soon. This
I'm fine
guy's
with
on.
that.
Dude,
love
I am
it.
massive. We're massive fans of you.
I
This
love
is
it.
a-
Well, we got sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, by the way, and I know there's a contender series this week, but it's just one of those things. We do the show Tuesday. Did you guys see Finney win that fight? And then Dana's like, brother, I told you to go get more fights. You only got one fight against not a good guy. You got a knockout and all, but that you're gonna get your butt whooped in here. I thought it was wild how honest Dana was.
I know. Well, I feel like he has to be now, right? Because it's like he has an influx of fighters that are trying to get on this roster. And if you don't wow him at this point.
But like, I'm just going to be brutally on that show. There was guys that didn't wow me either that he did give contracts to. So that's where I'm like,
he tends to over give the contracts on contender series already.
Yeah.
Like last season, was it last season or the season before that with all the flyweights was like the worst one. It's like, oh, winner, loser, everybody.
Contract.
You both get it.
Contract. I was like, why?
Yeah.
We have too many guys already in the UFC.
Yeah. I have to agree with Hangry Dana on this one. I think Finney just kind of set himself up to be, I don't want to call it the scapegoat, but somebody that Dana could make an example of and to encourage everybody else to kind of bring the violence and bring the finishes and how big?
I could see that.
That's a great question, Tisser.
How many active
we did this like
we did
6
this
months
recently.
ago,
Yeah.
We did this recently. It's like 560.
It's something ridiculous.
Let's see. Yep, 578 as of January 2023.
And so,
it's
probably way up. I bet you.
Well, they cut a lot of people this year too. If you notice, like in the last year and a half, they've cut a lot of people.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Watterson Gomez.
Okay, she retired.
Not that one.
Anyway, I got plenty of entertainment news if we need it. Oh, it looks like.
Did we get Yann back?
Yeah, it looks like he's back. Let's get him one more time.
We'll give him a solid goodbye here.
I'm back.
Hey, friend.
I don't know what happened. I got kicked out of nowhere.
That's all right. A lot of times when I do this stuff outside, my phone will overheat and then it'll shut down. I don't know if that happened.
No, that's not the case. I'm under the shade. So the sun's not hitting me at all.
Weird. I guess you were just crushing it that it was like, yeah, you're done.
I know. Yeah,
I brought too much heat.
You brought all the heat, all the smoke.
I brought all the heat.
I love it.
Yeah.
Last thing for you, my man. Combat FC, what was it? Is it just the region? Do you have a relationship? All your fights since this comeback have been under the Combat FC umbrella. Am I right? And if I'm right, why is that? What do you have a good relationship with them?
It's more so the fact that it's close by, it's convenient, and they actually treat the fighters well.
Mm.
You know, they treat the fighters very well. They're good to us. They pay us well. You know, I pack the house when I go because it's close enough to me. It's only 25 minutes from my house.
Nice.
You know, so it's nice. I pack the place when I fight. So, you know,
Yeah,
they're great people. It's a great show. Very well put together.
Not only is it convenient, but it's also a really well produced show. It's on UFC Fight Pass. It's kind of a win-win.
It is. It's a win-win. I get all, you know, all the eyes that I need, and you know, I think it's the whole UFC Fight Pass thing is very important as well. You know,
Yeah.
People tune in. People watch, and you know,
For sure.
yeah, I think I'm really in a really good spot with them right now. So, you know, I truly believe that after this fight, I think I'll be going to the UFC. You know, I'm hoping maybe a last minute replacement, you know, or honestly, whatever. I'll take anything. I'll take whatever they throw my way. So,
What is your ideal weight class for somebody who seems to have done all of them?
honestly, I'm a big 170.
Okay.
I'm a pretty big 170. I think 170 would be perfect for me. Obviously at 155, I'm massive. I'd be a huge 155. You know, 185. I don't think 185 would be my weight class in the UFC. But I think between 155 and 170. But there is one guy in the UFC that I would 100% fight at 185. I would walk in there right now and fight him right now if they gave me the opportunity.
Oh, you gotta let us know.
Gerald Morshart, I think that's how you say his name. He just
Gerald
won his back.
Mearshart. You're coming
We
after
love
GM3.
GM3 here, Yann.
What's your beef with
Mearshart.
GM3?
I got no beef with him at all. I would just love to fight him. He's I feel like he's a
Okay, I respect that.
he was I have nothing against him. I got nothing bad to say about him. It's just that he is someone I would love to fight. I would fight him in a
He's
heartbeat.
just got a punchable face.
He's got a
Yeah.
punchable face, and I feel like I just have this missile here, and when I hit, it cracks.
Okay.
And I can tell you right now, I can put his lights out pretty easily. I really do
Okay.
believe that.
Shots
I love
fired.
I love
Yeah,
this.
I mean,
love
hey,
this.
listen, if he's listening or if this message gets back to him, hey, call me out. Call me out. Let's fight.
Dude,
Let's you and I. Let's
I
do
literally,
the dance.
we got GM3's number. We will make this into a video, Yann. We will tag GM3. We'll see what happens, my man.
Please
Incredible.
do. I would love to
Incredible.
fight him. I love his style. I love the way he fights. You know, like I said, no animosity, nothing against the guy. I got zero bad things to say about him. But I would love to fight him because I know I can knock him out. I can put him out. So
Tell our guy in the comments. This is Raphael, our resident odds maker. What should the odds be on that fight?
between Gerald and I,
Yes, sir.
you would be silly to not put your money on me. You would be silly. I mean, I a couple fights ago, I think I was minus 2,000.
Jeez.
Wow.
I was minus
Oh,
2,000 a couple fights ago. Then against Ali Zebian, I think I was minus either 1,000. I think I was against Ali Zebian. Against Chris Foster, I have no idea what I am, but I do understand that going into the UFC and fighting somebody like Gerald is a completely different ball game. I 100% expect to be the underdog if that fight was to happen. If that was to be a thing, I would expect to be the underdog. So why not just make some money? You know, bet on the underdog.
Currently on Tapology for your upcoming fight against Chris Foster, out of 20 Tapology community picks, you have 95% of them.
Woo.
Exactly.
Man, brother.
Not bad.
Not bad. 95% of people are picking me to beat Chris. I think that's a safe bet.
That's great.
I think and I, you know, I can see going in. Let's say we were going, let's say DraftKings, you know what I mean, against Gerald. I feel like he would probably be minus 260 is what I would assume that they would put him at. And I feel like I would be maybe plus 300 or something along those lines.
All right.
So bet your house, put your money on your boy over here because
I love
it.
I can beat him. I can beat him.
You got Chris Foster first, September 13th, UFC Fight Pass. Tune in. Yann, we can't wait to see you do your thing.
Dude.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Massive fans over here, Yann. Massive fan. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon, all right?
I love it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. Looking forward to see you soon.
There you go.
Thanks, Yann.
Ron.
Thanks,
Dude,
Yann.
he was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
awesome. I
It
love
was
it. Big
awesome.
fan.
Yeah.
Big fan now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think I should be able to make that fight night, so I'm excited. That they put on a good show. Really good production. They pack the house. It's like it's an auditorium, so it's just like wall to wall people. It's super fun. So I will do
September
that.
13th. Is that like in the middle of the week?
No, that is a Saturday. That is a Friday. Excuse me. That's a Friday. My tech
I don't think we do any Fight Pass shows on Saturdays. I don't think
my technical last day at Fun 107. Friday the 13th. Not really crazy about that, but that's okay.
You just need to go celebrate after
with
some
some
fights.
I will be in September 13th. I will be in Las Vegas, Nevada.
What are you doing there, buddy?
Watching Canelo beat someone's ass.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Maybe a little UFC noche. I don't know. We'll see if they.
Telling Dean, spring for the Sphere tickets for the.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I like it.
Make it a work expense.
Can't believe y'all. Dude, this is so good. I can. We can talk about this forever. I can't believe y'all went to low hanging fruit. GM3 is a national treasure. I agree. GM3 should be.
It was a bizarre call out.
I was in Washington, D.C. with Abraham Lincoln monuments and stuff like that. I want a Gerald Mearshart monument. Like,
okay, chill with that. But
I want one.
I have a feeling
in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the saxophone.
Yeah, with the saxophone. I think he called him out because they're probably similar fighting styles. I kind of got the idea that Yann is kind of a brawler. I don't know. But yeah, let's get on the roster first before we start calling people out.
I respect it. I don't know about you, Maddie. I'm
here for it.
I just wasn't expecting it. I thought it would be somebody that literally somebody has beef with. I literally never heard of anybody
I've never
ever having beef with GM3.
I know. Nobody.
People that just get choked out by GM3 doesn't dislike him. They're like, dude, great job. I respect you.
I love it. Before I get going, you want to do some entertainment stuff?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
No, don't apologize. Let's hit this fancy little button here. Ready, set, go. Let's go. I think this is the funniest story to come out of MMA media right now. Ben Askren keeps getting Laura Sanko's mail. How funny is this? Well, Ben Askren posted on his Instagram, PSA, if you are sending Laura's fan mail to my house, it will be thrown away. I have never rented her a room or been in a relationship with her. I don't know why her fan mail is coming to my house. If her address says Wisconsin, that is not where she lives. What is going on?
I'm Googling Laura Sanko address to see if it goes there, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people named Laura Sanko.
Well, so what's happening? This is not the first time. This is not the first time. Laura actually commented under his post saying, again? This happened again? So I don't know. Like, there must be some internet page out there where it's like fake information about how to contact.
It's Ben Askren's address.
Good. I know. There's something out there that's like, this is how you contact Laura Sanko, and it's literally just Ben Askren.
I bet you somebody wrote it. You know, like you would like write your friend's phone number inside like bathroom stalls in the 90s.
Maybe.
I bet you somebody somewhere wrote Ben Askren's address.
Yeah. Wait. So someone with fake MMA information sent it out. That's got to be MMA Uncensored. There you go.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
I can confirm. I've actually been to Laura Sanko's house, so I can confirm she does not live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, such a weird thing, but so funny. Like,
of all MMA Uncensored, you get all of their correct news there.
All the fake news, all fake news. So I just think it's hilarious. Of all fighters for that to happen to, I'm so happy it's Ben Askren, because he's like,
that's hilarious.
It's just so funny. It's so good. Izzy saying that he, quote, rolled his ankle on his podcast and did not point to the canvas like Max Holloway. Did you guys see this one? So he did a live reaction video to his last performance. And that iconic moment where he's about to get finished, he points to the canvas. He's saying, no, I rolled my ankle.
No, I actually believe him. I do
Yeah.
believe that.
I can
Because
see
it
that.
was weird because he didn't point at the ankle and kind of like man up. You know, like you can do that. He didn't do that. Like he pointed like something happened and kept on fighting
Yeah.
normally. Like
Yeah.
Max Holloway pointed the ankle and then like mean mugged Gaethje. Like
Yeah,
that's
well, his was like very obvious. Like, yeah, for sure.
like what Francis Marshall. You just mean mug someone and you just punch him out. You know, that's
Yeah, exactly.
we call that the Marshall.
I like it. I like
You
it.
like that? You like that? Is that a transition into our next guest?
I think it might be.
It is.
Do you have one more really cool pop news for us or no?
I do, but let's get Francis on here.
No. I want the
Okay.
one more pop news. I'm at it. One more.
Well, I just really,
Okay, fine.
I really enjoyed this story about Ilia Topuria giving Diego Lopez his flowers. Did you see this one? So
I did see this.
he was recently talking about possible next contenders. He's kind of looking forward, right? Like he's kind of assuming he's going to win against Max Holloway and then thinking about, okay, who's going to be the next contender? And he says Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez is most likely a title eliminator. I love the attitude that Diego Lopez brings. He's always respectful with me. I like his attitude. If he wins, I want him to be the next one. Imagine Diego Lopez is just like, boo. I'm here for it. I love him.
Is that really the title eliminator though?
I don't think so.
I think Aljamain Sterling and Mozart Evloev.
Mozart.
I 100%.
If Mozart
agree.
wins, how can he not fight for the championship?
Right. Well,
How can he not?
if you're in Topuria's shoes, you want Diego Lopez. You don't want
That's fair.
Mozart.
That's fair.
You know?
Of course.
So I think it's one of those things. Is it fact? No. But I think I just thought it was cool. It was interesting. And I thought it was nice to hear him give props to a guy that is just continuously rising in the UFC banner. So
That's
I thought it was cool.
Another guy who's super cool, 25 years young, trains at American Top Team, 8-2, had a better weekend than all of us combined. Talking about the one and only, the Fire, Francis Marshall.
How's it going?
Francis, what's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good, brother.
Great.
Doing good.
Are you sure you were in a fight this weekend? Look at you. You look great.
That's the key, not to get hit.
That is clean. Francis, was that you jogging? I was at American Top Team maybe like 3 weeks ago. I saw Daniel Wyatt outside the gym. Was that you with Daniel?
Yeah, that was me and Danny.
Dude.
That's awesome.
Oh,
So
I
exactly, I heard you got this on short notice. How many days exactly did you get this fight notice?
So we got word of it like Saturday night before, so a week, and then no confirmation until Tuesday. So then Tuesday contracts for it.
Whew.
Yeah.
Was that Saturday to Tuesday stressful as hell? Where you stopped eating? Was it like, oh, guys, this might happen? Or did you like, oh, this is kind of a girl flirting with me again. I don't know if I'm going to do this or not. Like, how was it?
I kind of started taking it as if I was going into fight week. So I started
Okay.
just in case, because I didn't want to get to Tuesday and kind of be unprepared for it.
Sure.
If it was or wasn't going to happen. So it couldn't have hurt me if I did prepare and it didn't happen. So I figured, let me just take the right steps, treat it as a fight week until I hear otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. And when you got that call Tuesday, I would assume, an agent or a rep or whatever you have when you have that call, was it like, hell yeah, let's go Saturday, we're doing this? Or was there a, wow, okay, this is happening now. I got to get a lot of ducks in a row. I am fighting in 4 days. How was that that 15 minutes, first 10 minutes after you get that massive information?
It was kind of like, oh wow, it's like it's happening. Like it kind of all just happened so quick. Like Tuesday, I was like, okay, it still might happen, maybe not. It was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock Tuesday evening, and I was like, all right, maybe if it does happen, they'll fly me out tomorrow. I was like, it's getting close though. It's like they usually like to get you there on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Already get a Tuesday, and then next thing you know, I got a phone call. I was like, yep, the fight's happening. Got the contract, flights for like 3 hours later. I got my flight at 8:15 that night and shot out. So it all did happen pretty quick.
It's almost like you don't have time for nerves. It's like, I just got to get there.
Yeah, get there and get settled in, and then
Well, good for you, man. Did you expect it to be such a war? I mean, it was outside looking in. It was so much fun to watch. But is that what you expected from him?
Not at all. So my game plan going in was to wrestle, like kind of how the first round wrestled him in the first round, controlled it, had 4 minutes of control time or whatever it was. And then I think I rewatched the fight. So there was like that last minute of the first round. We were kind of standing up a little bit, and then I hit him with a good 1-2 at the end. And I guess that kind of gave me some confidence on the feet going into the second round. And then I dropped him in the first 20 seconds. And then from there, a boxing match pretty much.
Yeah. It was very entertaining.
Speaking of that second round, though. Oh, sorry, Dave. Do you want to go first?
No, you can go. I was raising my hand like I'm in fourth grade or something. Francis, okay, so real quick, I'm sorry, Elle, you're next, and we got 4 great questions in the thing. Francis just lighting everyone up. I love it. So you have a great game plan. The first round, 10-9, easy. Like everyone was like, dude, Francis looks awesome. A little bit of a different game plan. Then all of a sudden, you do get that awesome, almost a TKO.
Knockdown, yeah.
Does that, like, where does that game plan of like, okay, we're going to have a boxing match for the last 8 minutes of the fight. Why did you not go back to the wrestling? Did you ever think about that? Did a great cornerman / coach Grant Dawson tell you to go back to wrestling? What happened there?
Yeah, the whole corner kind of was easing me, trying to get me to go back into wrestling and like, level change, show him something. Yeah. But I was kind of, after that point, I think I was a little bit locked in. Like I just wanted to kind of fight, like ready. I had confidence in my hands. I touched him with the right. He fell. And I was like, I know I could definitely do it again if I catch him clean. So I was just, at that point, I was done wrestling. I was just ready to fight.
Speaking of that second round, I definitely thought you won the second round personally with the big drop. You almost finished him at the beginning. Do you feel like the judge that, I think, was it 2 judges gave him that second round?
I think so.
Which is interesting to me. But do you feel like that comes from what happened at the end of the round? Like it's just that recency bias that's in judges' minds?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with that. But like, I still don't understand. Like I rewatched the fight, I think 3 times now. I get it. He was landing some shots too after that, but nothing near to the effect that I had. And they put too much emphasis on the end of the round. Like a close round like that, like after the knockdown, it was pretty almost even, I could say. Like it was pretty well balanced throughout the rest of that round. But I think the knockdown triumphs everything. Like that triumphs whether he took me down and rode me out for a minute, because that's damage. So I think I did more damage, but that knockdown won me the round because he didn't knock me down, get close to finishing me. So I just think the judges need to be a little more like focused on the round overall rather than just like the last 2 minutes. And I think they should be held accountable. Again, like they make bad, we see bad decisions and, people getting robbed of or close fights where they shouldn't have been that close. I feel like the judges never really get held accountable.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean.
Francis, we had some good questions here in the comments real quick, Matt. Francis, do you miss eating Jersey Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches?
Well, first of all, it's pork roll. So pork roll, but yes, I do miss the pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Okay. They go, who's your main training partners at ATT?
I train with Grant a lot, Dakota, Nate, Dan Wyatt. I've been training with Mozart a lot lately. Countless. Those are probably like the main 5. But otherwise, I'm always trying to get rounds with different guys, get different looks because everyone's a good round there.
Of course, I think you know this about us, Francis. Of course, we got Elle on the show every week. She does so much here for Fight Bananas. How was having Mr. Dawson, Coach Dawson, in the corner? Dude, it was awesome watching him yelling. He was getting me hyped. You know what I mean? I was with my kids. I was ready to go. I was like, all right, Grant, maybe my amateur boxing debut, I'll have Grant in my corner. He was getting me hyped. How was it to have Grant in your corner? And he was very vocal that night.
Yeah, it was great having him there. It was great, especially in the back too. Like he was moving around me, helping me warm up. And then in the fight itself, like in that first round, I'm holding the body lock and, it's almost struggling. He's getting the hands almost peeled. Like my fingertips are just holding on. And, he just yelled over, split the cage. So get my leg in between him and the fence. And then after I got that position, it was so much easier to hold for like the next 2 minutes or whatever it was. So that was a huge help, or else I think he might have been able to get out in that first round.
And I know Grant.
Yeah, I mean, overall, for Elle.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Maddie's got a glitchy mic today. I don't know what's happening to you. But
God damn.
You sound like you're going through one of those voice modulators today.
Yeah. Like Kanye West. It was like Kanye West and the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I know Grant had to be calling for the takedown. So when between rounds 2 and 3, were you like, no, man, like I'm gonna box him, or were you just like, yeah, okay, I'll shoot, and you're like, no, not gonna happen?
I think in the corner, I'm like, okay, like I'll get back to wrestling. Like I really think like I'm listening to the advice. I'm like, okay, yeah, it sounds good. And then when you get back out there, it's like we're just fighting again.
Nah, never mind.
And I had to breathe through my mouth because my nose started nasal breathe, which my cardio was taking a hit for that because usually I wouldn't get that tired. And then so I was like, oh, if I try to wrestle now 4 minutes, I might be a little more exhausted. And I was like, let me just I could outbox him right now.
Do you feel like you were in like your cardio was where it normally would be before you took the damage to your nose, or you feel like the short notice obviously affected it a little bit?
I think the short notice affected it a little bit, but like training wise, I usually feel pretty good training, like sparring and stuff. I could usually not getting like slowing down until maybe the 4th and 5th round and stuff like that with high level guys, especially. But I think the nose really takes a hit, like really knocks the cardio back. Because when you're sitting there mouth breathing the whole time, it kind of jacks the heart rate up, I think, a little bit and makes you a little more tired quicker. Because I mean, after the first round, the only thing, my arms were just like a little sore, but cardio wise, I felt good until my nose kind of got busted.
You want to try it, Maddie, or no?
I'm scared.
Yep.
Somebody said robot Maddie.
That is wild. That is
Robot
wild.
Maddie is gonna go.
Oh,
Later, Maddie. Gee, that is wild. I've never heard that before. That was wild. Francis, I was lucky enough to be in Orlando, Florida for your fight. I remember that. I remember me and Elle were like very high on that fight for you. You know, I know after that, of course, a couple stuff didn't go your way. One was a split decision. That's life of that nature. But how are you feeling right now? 25 years young, probably entering your prime, probably not even in your peak prime yet at ATT. Like you just mentioned, 4 of the best fighters in the world, you know, names like Dawson and Gamrot and Mosar, stuff of that nature. You got to think your upward projection is almost unlimited. Like you're the next 2, 3, 4 years of your career could be something very, very special.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's also just, focusing on one fight at a time and not trying to get so far ahead of myself and staying humble along the way, not thinking like, okay, like I'm going to be the next whatever. And then looking on the future and then forgetting where I'm at right now. Because right now there's definitely some steps I need to take after this fight of working on some things to develop and get better for the next time out there. And, after that fight, there's going to be more things to develop on. So it's always just trying to stay in the moment and staying present with it and not getting too high in the highs and not getting too low in the lows. Just trying to ride it right in the middle.
I love it. Elle, anything else for Francis?
no, man, like congratulations again. Absolute beast.
Went on us.
Stoked. What? Did I go out? Am I back?
You're back.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. No, I was just going to say congrats again, man. Congratulations on such an incredible performance. I hope you're getting all the attention you deserve for stepping up and taking the short notice and coming through.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Francis, you're the man, dude. Huge fan of you. Cannot wait. Hopefully we'll talk again soon. All right, brother?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Later. Francis Marshall, 8-2. Dude, what a stud. Like that kid a lot.
I love
Talking
this.
about studs. Yeah, I got some fat tickets. That's so funny. I love it. Dude, our YouTube comments have been on fire today, exclusively on YouTube. We're trying something different and new. We love it. But talking about studs, our stud, the Savage stud, a lot of fights to talk to her about. Of course, this past weekend was a big fight on the card that I definitely want to pick her brain about. A fight was just announced a couple of hours ago. I can't wait to talk to this guest, Gillian, the Savage Robertson. What's up, G?
Sorry, I'm busy.
Aw.
No
The pup just
apologies
needs
needed.
the limelight.
It's actually our 1 year adoptiversary today, so she's celebrating.
I love that. Dude, there's been like a lot of birthdays, anniversaries, a lot of stuff going around at the end of August. I love it. Big thing.
Yeah, we're saying it's his 1 year and 4 months too, because we can't celebrate her without celebrating him too. So
Of course, of course.
yeah.
Introduce the pups to us. Let's
This
meet the
is
puppies.
Gordo. He's my little feisty one. He's small and angry, but he loves his mom. And then Harley's in the back here.
Oh,
She's our sweetheart.
so cute. Ugh.
I love it. I love it. First and foremost, G, let's start with what we just saw this past weekend. Of course, Tabitha Ritchie, past opponent. Angela Hill, maybe a future opponent. Not sure now. Maybe we'll see what happens. A really good fight. Went the decision. Like probably the whole world thought the fight was going to go, but it went to a decision. What did you think of the fight? What did you think of Tabitha? And then maybe more importantly, what did you think of Angela?
I can't knock it because it worked against me. But I'm like, it's just such an unentertaining way to win Tabitha has. I'm like, she's good at doing it though. I can't not I can't knock it. She wins fights. She's good at winning fights. But it's just like you said, you expect a decision every time. It wasn't necessarily entertaining fight when it was going her way. When it was going a little bit more Angie's way, that's when we had a little bit more of the excitement. But yeah, she's good at winning fights, so I'm like, can't take that from her.
Let me just ask you a brutal question right away. And I think I know the answer, but maybe not. Would you rather go 18-2, G, but be in a ton of boring fights, maybe not being fan friendly to the fans and just kind of going through it, or maybe kind of having a little bit of a Cowboy Cerrone, or like so beloved, maybe a little bit above 500, maybe 10-8, but like fight anyone, anytime, best fights of the year, and just beloved as a from the fans and from probably the organization. If you had to pick one of those other avenues, which way would you go?
I'm definitely. I'm the finish. I like being a finisher. I like going like all of my majority of my wins are finishes. I have 2 decision wins so far, and I'm like, even those my 2 decision wins that I have, it was pretty much I just beat up the girl for 15 minutes. I sat on top, and she just didn't give me the opportunity. But it's like there's no time limit. I was finishing that fight. Just ran out of time on those ones.
Dude, maybe one of the best comments we've ever had in Fight Bananas history. This is so savage. Jillian's interviews are more exciting than Tabitha's fights. God, that is savage. Savage. Dixon Carter, shout out to you. Savage. Absolutely savage. Okay, that fight alone. Any other fights on the card? Kaio won the main event. We have 2 new Ultimate Fighter. Let me just hit on that real quick. I think we all remember how big the Ultimate Fighter show used to be, and when you won it, like that, those guys won it, and it was just like buried in the card. It was so wild how much it's lost its luster. And I remember when that used to be like a main event or a co-main or just meant so big. I remember Michael Chiesa winning, and just like it felt like humongous, like he won the world championship. Now those guys won, but like I'm like, Michael Morales looked awesome. Like it just kind of. It's wild the down on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder why they're still doing it, honestly, especially with the Contender Series now. It's just like,
so good.
Even like for the fighters, it's so much more to go through. Like you have to go through 3 weight cuts plus the finale. You have to just be in the house. There's no TV, no music, no books, no nothing. You're just sitting there bored the whole time. It's like, it's just a mental pressure cooker in there versus having one fight on the Contender Series. I just don't get the purpose of, even the fact that they're on the same night. Because I'm a fight fan, so I try to watch everything, and I'm like, they've been on the same night. I'm like, that's just weird.
Yeah. No, I agree. Really cool. Real quick, Elle, you have the next one. Next Monday on Cage Side Fight Bananas, Tough 32 winner Ryan Loader on the show. That's awesome, Chris. Shout out.
No, G hit the nail on the head. The guys that the UFC really, really wants right now are going to Contender Series, or they're just getting signed right away. So it's like the guys who end up in the Ultimate Fighter typically have to fight through a little bit more adversity to get into the UFC. So like, of course, they're not going to be main eventing cards because it's just not, the show isn't what it used to be. Like it used to be like and I bring this up every time we talk about The Ultimate Fighter. My favorite season is still the flyweight tournament because it was just the best possible guys in that weight class that weren't in the UFC yet, like absolute savages. And the fights were incredible. I do think this season's fights and talent was substantially better than the last 2 seasons. But even then, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like the guys that they're really, really high on are going to get Contender Series shots.
And
So
like you said, this season, because they were drawing from like all different countries around the world, I feel like they got a little bit more exciting fights, a little bit more diversity. But it was like the last couple seasons, I don't know how many people are even like, if anybody did get signed off of it, even if the champion still like the champion I know of the 125 girls season isn't doing great. You know, it's like, it's just, even
I think Brian Battle's the exception, right?
Good
Yeah,
one.
like,
Yeah,
he's
you're
doing
right.
the best out of anybody of the last few seasons.
Yeah, so like the talent pool hasn't even been great on the Ultimate Fighter the last couple seasons because, like you said, everybody's going to the Contender.
Yeah.
I
So
love
it's
it. I love it.
Chris said Tough may have outlived its premise. Yeah. It may have. It's kind of sad. It's kind of fun, but like there was no drama on this season either. So it's like we didn't even get that part. At least the fights were really good. But like Valentina and Alexa Grasso are like the 2 most respectful, least like exciting personalities in MMA.
That just kind of reminded me of a fight of this last weekend. Wang Kong. She was the first fight on the card.
Dude,
you guys watch her?
Yeah, we talked about her in the first hour.
Yeah, like she has a win against Valentina in kickboxing, so that's why it reminded me. But I'm like, that girl looked nasty. Obviously, I feel like Victoria Leonardo kind of gave her. She kind of gave her the what she wanted. You know, she was kind of trying to brawl with her a little bit. Wasn't, and that's exactly like as a kickboxing. I guess like expert, that's what you want, you know? You want somebody who's going to sit there and try to brawl with you. But it was an absolutely beautiful, just like uppercut, overhand, put her down, lights out. It was gorgeous.
She looked great. Absolutely. G, I agree. But then the other side, and we are usually 98% pro and positive with Fight Bananas. I'm just going to be real. I think Leonardo looked awful. I think she's not a great fighter. Like, she should not be on the UFC roster. Like,
I didn't want to be that brutal, but
there you go.
Dave will do it for you, apparently.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to like tiptoe around that, not to just completely talk shit. But
9-6. 9-6.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1-4 in her 5 UFC.
1-4. And like
she beat a girl who was 8-2.
Who was it?
Mandy Bohm. But she left. She's boxing people now. So she must have gone back to boxing.
Yeah, I think she's
she went 0-2. 0-2 in the UFC.
God bless her. All right.
Not a great UFC record, unfortunately.
She should be out of the thing. Good question from Dixon, who added the great comment earlier. Gee, how hard have these recent weight cuts been since moving down? You've looked fantastic, so I'm assuming good.
Yeah, they've been definitely, I guess it's a process right now. My last, some have been good, some have been bad. My first one went absolutely amazing whenever I fought Pierre Rodriguez. That one was elite. Then I know we've talked about it before, obviously. I had too quick of a turnaround with Tabitha Ritchie. That one was absolutely horrible. I'm like, so, and even this last one, I've been struggling, I guess, just with my own stuff. We're dealing with stuff physically here that I'm talking to doctors and stuff that we're trying to figure out with me too. That I'm not being able to rehydrate, and we don't know why. Because I'm not having hard weight cuts, but I'm having hard times rehydrating.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to like gastroenterologists, things like that. We're trying to figure out for my next weight cut. But my last 2 weight cuts, I've been puking for a good 3 hours post rehydration.
No, that's horrible.
So I'm like, they haven't been going great. But my last one against Michelle Watterson, my one before that against Pollyanna Viana in Canada, when I try to rehydrate, I'm like, I step on the scale. Getting on the scale is easy. Like getting to the scale, I'm like, I feel good. I cut the weight. That part's easy. It's the rehydration part that my body's not liking right now that we're trying to figure out.
I'm probably the dumbest person. Like, what do you have any idea? Or like Elle, that might be a little bit more up your alley. Why like do you have a lean on what it could be or?
Right now we just know that my body gets super acidic during my cuts. So we're just, like I said, I'm working with a doctor. We're getting me on certain supplements, things like that to hopefully get my body less acidic. So it might just be something that it's just me, it's just something that it's my body and it doesn't react well to these weight cuts as well. So it's like, it's just something that we have to incorporate into my future camps, but it's just all part of the learning process and being a fighter. And I'm like, honestly, though, I felt absolutely wonderful in my last 2 fights. Performance-wise, I felt great. Walking in there, I've been bigger than I have my last couple camps, so it's weird. I'm like walking in the cage, I've been 130, where I've been a little bit lower before that. So I'm like, I'm still putting on 15 pounds overnight. Being able to walk in the cage and perform. Obviously, my last 2 fights, I feel like I've performed to my best ability. So I'm like, I feel like it doesn't show, but it's definitely it's a learning process that we're trying to figure out.
I say it all the time. I joke with Grant about it more often than not. Like winning in the UFC is hard. Like you got 2 wins in a row. You have UFC records. We joke about it, G, all the time. Like winning in the UFC is hard. So I think what you're doing, I think it's 3 out of your last 4 as a strawweight. We joke about it all the time. Strawweight savage. Sounds like your body wants you to be featherweight savage, but hey, we'll hopefully continue the strawweight for a little bit. These comments, oh wow, hope everything gets better for you, Queen. Appreciate that. Says that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Jillian. And then it goes, appreciate you sharing, G. So you got people behind you.
I'm like, halfway through it, I'm like, is this a little bit too much sharing?
That's why they love you.
I know.
Being real, keeping it real.
Exactly.
This is a comment. Oh, I want to ask you this too. So I love working with Daya. Said how has she liked working with Coach Daya and sharpening her boxing? I go up to Boca Boxing District most Monday nights to work with Daya as well. Absolutely love it up there. Are you liking it?
I'm actually going up there right now. Right after this, that's where I'm headed.
Hey.
So I actually work with Brandon Sanford there. So he works under Daya. He's absolutely amazing. Daya is absolutely amazing. I think though, like, obviously Dustin Poirier trusts him with one of the best boxers in the UFC. You got to know that he's legit. Like he really is just a mastermind in the sport.
Has he said something or someone in that gym said something to you as simple as like, gee, just move your foot 2 inches that way? And you're like light bulb kind of moment of boxing? Or is it more just more technique, skill, just like week after week after week after week, getting sharpening your skills? Or has it been a couple of these little like, no, just your jab should just, hey, come inside just a little bit more, like little things like that?
I guess it's a little bit of both, but that picking apart is what I appreciate about him. That a lot of boxing coaches or a lot of pad holders, they're just gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, slip, whatever, just tell you the combination, where it's like you're not you're getting cardio reps there. You're not necessarily making your self better, where it's like he's gonna pick you apart, he's gonna tell you you need to be an inch to the left, you need to do this with your shoulder, you need to sit down more, whatever it is. He can see that, where I feel like it takes a more educated mind in boxing to be able to do that.
I love it. I got a fun question for you if we don't have anything. Elle, anything else from this past weekend, Kyle, or anything going forward? Okay. The fight announcement, I don't know, G, if you even saw. Dude, my head is just, it's always spinning.
This is like the third time Dave's been like, Elle, do you have anything? Wait. No.
I'm sorry, Elle. Fight announcement just booked 2 hours ago, December 14th, Tampa, Florida. Fight Banana Suite. We're trying to make it happen. Miranda Maverick versus Tracy Cortez. And Miranda Maverick came out hot. Huh?
No, I said that's literally what I was going to ask her too. So let's go.
Okay, there you go.
That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I feel like they're very similar to each other. So
why is Miranda mad at Tracy? What happened? Like, she's like, hey, like, look at her post. It looks like she's a little bit upset.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Miranda's not one to be in like drama, I feel like either.
Yeah.
So I feel like they both have very like similar, very wrestling bases though. They yeah, honestly I couldn't tell you how this one I would call it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I might give an edge to Miranda, but I think this is like it should be a fairly even matched fight there.
Yeah, I feel like they have similar skill sets. I do think Miranda tends to throw a little more volume, and like she doesn't really slow down, while Tracy likes to kind of pick her shots a little more individually. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm kind of on the same wavelength as that for sure.
I just want to throw one that's happening next week. Gilbert Burns and Sean Brady, and
Great
in
match.
the corner is going to be the great Dean Thomas of Sean Brady. So.
Oh, really?
Wait,
Yes.
whoa. We're gonna do some really cool like graphics here. Wait, Dean Thomas is gonna be in Sean Brady's corner?
Yes, he's been going up there the last couple weeks to go work with him. So I think last time he fought too, Dean was in his corner as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So,
I like Sean
a
Brady.
little bit of savage grappling in there, you know.
Imagine if I know you are in a loving, happy relationship, but imagine Sean Brady and Gillian Robertson had a baby kid. How good of a fighter would that person be?
Me and my boyfriend already joke about that enough because he's a former Navy SEAL and trains MMA for a hobby. So I'm like, when we always joke, we're like, if we ever have a kid, he's gonna be a serial killer. Like, there's no hope for him, you know.
Dude, I didn't know he was a Navy SEAL. Dude, shout out to him. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Dude, nice. Dude, I like the guy already. Now that's just top notch more. I like him a lot more. All right, here we go. I got one last fun question for you, G. We'll let you run. Appreciate you every Tuesday. Next week, G's taking a second. Julian's kid will. That's a good one. Dawson, well played. So this past weekend, I was in Washington, D.C., doing some stuff for the PFL. And a lot of it was like they're trying to hype up Cyborg. And they were calling her, and this is why this question's coming up to me. They kept on mentioning that Cyborg's the greatest female fighter ever. And they were like, mention it, the GOAT, best female fighter ever. And I was like, I don't know about this, so on. So I was like, I don't want to put you on the spot, and because I do think I know your answer. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a runway. Mount Rushmores, people love Mount Rushmores. We got a new graphic artist here in Fight Banana, so we're going to make you graphic artwork of Gillian Savage Robertson's female MMA Mount Rushmore. So who's your top 4, the greatest 4 female fighters ever in the history of MMA?
First off, as soon as you said that about Chris Cyborg, I know exactly where you're going with it. Because
Did you really?
The whole time they were saying that this weekend, I was thinking like, it's Amanda.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, for one, it is Amanda. But two, I talked to PFL execs for 2 different reasons, but one of them was that I was like, guys, you look so bad saying the whole thing about Cyborg because you were saying the same thing about Kayla Harrison 5 months ago. Like, it's like, hey, I don't even want to go with the analogy that I had, but my point is like, you just can't flip-flop like that so damn quick. It's like, you could say she's a great female fighter, one of the best ever, but calling her the GOAT, like you literally just called Kayla Harrison a GOAT last year. Like, I think it's pretty petty of them.
Yeah. For my Mount Rushmore, though, I would say obviously Amanda Nunes on there. Chris Cyborg, I think, does deserve a spot on it. Okay. I guess I'll take one from each division. I'll go for I would say Valentina for the 25ers and Weili for the 15.
Wow. So big one, G. We might have to change it if you don't want, but that is a great list. A great list. Ronda Rousey, no Mount Rushmore?
Pioneered it.
It's hard. See, the one I was debating was Weili or Joanna. Those two, I feel like Joanna might belong there more than Weili because Joanna is the strawweight queen.
She was the pioneer of it as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I think mine's Amanda, Ronda Rousey has to be on mine. Maybe I'm a male and it's easier. She is like, if you think of female MMA as a casual, like we talk about this all the time. Like you ask a novice, like Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey, like those are the two. Amanda, Ronda, to me, Joanna. Like I am the biggest Joanna fan ever. Love me some Joanna Jacek. I think Weili's maybe too early to be on it. I don't disagree. I've seen a lot about Latina love in the comments. I see a Carano one. Guys, maybe I'm super wrong on this. Maybe I'm super homer on this. I might go Kayla Harrison. I might do it.
I don't hate it.
I might do it.
The only
Joanna, Kayla, Manda, Ronda.
I was gonna say the only thing with Ronda is I feel like she's a great personality in the sport 100%, and she opened the doors for women. But I was going with the technical side, I guess. The greatest technical side.
Love it.
Yeah, and I just don't see Ronda. Well, obviously it showed whenever she came back against Amanda. She can't hang with the greatest women of all time. So that's why I wouldn't put her on my list. But she is such a pioneer for the sport. Like I have so much respect for her.
My thing is, I think people get confused when I'm asking people for their Mount Rushmore. I'm not asking for their top 4. I'm at because Mount Rushmore is the founding fathers. Like we're talking founding fathers, in my opinion. So it to me, I think Ronda deserves a spot on Mount Rushmore. While I'm not going to say she's on my greatest of all time list.
Okay.
I agree with that. I
agree with that. I agree with that. So, but I get what you're saying. So, Elle, are you saying on your Mount Rushmore, there's no newness to it? There's no Weili. There's no Valentina. There's even Amanda's kind of new. She just retired like a year ago.
But it depends on what you've done in the sport at that point. I think Weili is is probably one of the top 2 women in the UFC right now, pound for pound. 100%. Is she currently the best one? Yes. But yeah, I don't know that she's been around long enough for me to put her over Joanna on, because Joanna had such an incredible run. Just like I don't think Jose Aldo is still the best guy in the world, obviously, because he's losing now. But he still belongs on my Mount Rushmore because of the legacy of the sport that he left behind, That's my take.
I love it. We're going to go into this Mount Rushmore. We're going to let G go, but there's 2 quick, fun questions for G. Dude, we went to YouTube today, exclusive, G. It's been awesome. Great comment people in it. So 2 questions for you real quick. Last question, G. Who do you got, Dakota Ditcheva or Talia Santos in the PFL finals?
I'm going to hope Dakota, because Talia gave me 11 stitches in my nose.
There you go. I love it.
Dakota's got this. She's got this.
Yeah, I'm going to hope that Dakota's got this.
Dakota, I talked to Dakota 3 different times in Washington, D.C. Dude, I am the biggest Dakota Ditcheva fan. Huge Dakota fan. Another one. Last question, G, from another person. Who you got, Valentina or Grasso? I believe it's 3 at UFC Noche. It's not 2 anymore. It's UFC 3, but UFC Noche around 3 weeks away. Who do you have on that?
That one... Obviously such a tough one to call. It went, I feel like, both ways, both times. I think I want to lean Valentina. I feel like Valentina made small mistakes in the last 2 that led to the slip up, but I feel like she's a better fighter overall.
I agree. My only fear, and it's so funny, and I'm sorry, G, I took way too much of your time. I agree with that answer so much. I just think this is not Valentina of 2020 anymore. I think she's aging in front of us, and we kind of think of Valentina when she was invincible in 2020, knocking out anyone she fought, and it happens. We all age, and we all get a tiny bit slower, and I think in a weird way, Grasso's like this and Valentina's like this, and I don't know where they're at on that trajectory yet. I do think Valentina is definitely better. Her peak is better than Alexa Grasso's peak, for sure. But where are they at in September of 2024? That's the question.
No, I'm like, it's been very close, especially the last time. A lot of people would give Valentina the fight, It was a very close fight. And I Honestly, I would have given Valentina the fight last time.
No,
Or
I agree. I agree. Me too. Me too.
So I feel like Valentina just is the more well-rounded fighter, and if she stays focused for 50 or 25 minutes, it's her fight.
I love it. Guys, follow Gillian the Savage Robertson on IG, Savage_UFC. Anything else? I saw you put it on your story, something about a shelter, dogs. You want to shout that out real quick?
I just always, honestly, it breaks my heart. In Miami, there's a huge stray dog issue where the Miami Humane Society is overfilled. It's been overfilled for months. If you do find a stray dog on the street, you can't like call anybody to come pick it up. They tell you to just let it go. There's absolutely nowhere for these dogs to go, and it just breaks my heart. And I'm sitting there every other day on Instagram crying, looking at them in their cages. So, I mean, it was something I used to do before I got into the UFC. That was a huge part of my life as I worked at the Humane Society. I volunteered at the Humane Society from the time I was 7 till I was 22. So I'm like, it's just always been a huge part of my life. And I always just want to do anything I can for these dogs. My dad is actually, we're talking right now and trying to get a foundation started so then we can get something going in my name for the dogs, getting money towards maybe just getting like spay and neuters, getting them food, things like that for Humane Society. So we're like in the process of that now.
That's amazing to hear. G, if that comes to be, if there's anything that we can do at Fight Bananas to help, push, promote, or give, we will definitely do that. And I love that. That's amazing.
All right. Thank you so much.
Later. Absolutely. Gillian the Savage Robertson off next week. We'll see her in 2 weeks. Later. There we go. There's G. Dude, that was good. I got like 25 comments to go back into that. I didn't know that Mount Rushmore thing was going to take off. I didn't know. So
killed it.
Let me push a couple buttons. Guys,
how did Tanya Evinger? Hang on. When would we have ever said Tanya Evinger? I'm just curious. I missed that comment.
What did you say? What did you say?
I don't know. I think we were talking about Joanna. I don't know. Yeah. That was a random one.
No, that dude, he has been so funny. He came on a little bit before. Dude, Dangry Dana. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna offer him a 4-year job.
Dangry Dana.
Hangry Dana. All right, here we go. Dude, he is awesome. So let me go back to these. Dude, I love it. All right, Burns by submission. I didn't know that about Dean Thomas at all in Sean Brady's corner. Did not know that. So that's good. Yeah, Christian Burns. We got the questions. All right, so this is a good one. Christopher James put that up there. I can almost with the Mount Rushmore type, this is hard to argue. Karana, Nunes, Rousey, Cyborg, all-time female MMA Mount Rushmore. That is a phenomenal one. Phenomenal.
They're pioneers. Like if we're going straight off the founding fathers attitude on it,
that's it.
Yes, I'm with you. I love Gina Carano. I don't know that she would make mine when I've got like the Joannas of the world. What?
If Gina Carano fought now, she would be in Bellator. Okay, she would not even be in the UFC. She would be.
Well, that's the case for most people from that era. Men's MMA as well. Like,
wait, you don't think Rich Ace Franklin would be still mopping up the floor with people?
Dave, I don't know that GSP would be champ in today's current era. I genuinely don't. I don't think people realize how much the sport has grown and changed.
I agree. We talk about this all the time. We agree. That's a whole other discussion. I got a question for you in a second. It's a good one. This has been a great show. Let's go to another one. Our main man, Dawson, goes Amanda Nunes, Shevchenko, Rousey, and Weili. That's a really great one. I don't know why I don't think Weili's there. I think if Joanna's over Weili, that's kind of my 4, but I had Harrison or Cyborg over Shevchenko, but that's a good one. I don't disagree.
Because I think you're right. I think Weili will be. I think when Weili like finishes her MMA career, like we're going to be talking about how she'll be cemented in the Hall of Fame forever. Like she just hasn't been there that long, you know?
Yeah.
Like she just came on the scene and got big. Like I had barely heard about her before she beat Jessica Andrade. Like, it's like, you know, she was so new and she just didn't have the following yet.
Wow. Valentina's probably ready to have a kid soon. Maybe, maybe not. This is one that we're just going to literally skip. Did you guys hear Agapapova is going to bare knuckle? You ready? 2 things we don't care about on this show. 1, Agapapova, and 2, bare knuckle FC. Sorry. There we go. Next comment. All right.
Honestly, that'd be good for her, though.
No.
I had a response.
Dude, she does not need to get hit in the head anymore. Okay. That
no,
lady is...
she doesn't need to fight people in fights where they're allowed to grapple. Honestly, that's the best case scenario for her, is a fight with no grappling. Now we can go.
All right. Beth Correa defeated Brazilian Mount Rushmore UFC woman. Dude, Dixon's been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Dixon's been good. That one falls a little short for me. John Jones is the last of an era. Don't be Dana White here. John Jones is not in this debate. I don't know where that is. Everyone needs to forget about Thug Rose being a GOAT. A good run.
It's tough.
Good
I
run.
kind of was like thinking about that too, and I know it's tough because it's like Whaley and Rose both beat Joanna, but I still don't consider them having the same legacies.
That was the end of
Joanna
Joanna. Joanna had a 7-fight championship winning streak, and like you said, she created. It's crazy. It's a debate. It's a fun debate. I like that. Too early
And also,
for Harrison. Maybe.
I also want to say too, like, I think Rose's had some boring fights. Like, I can't think of a single Joanna fight that I go back and I'm like, oh, this fight was absolutely horrendous.
She didn't have a boring fight. She had the worst fight in UFC history with Carla Esparza. The worst. That like disqualifies you off of Mount Rushmore list. Because we're doing inches here. These are the 9 greatest female fighters ever. We're doing inches. You had the worst fight ever in history. You're out of the list. There you go. I said it.
Fair enough. They're saying it all today.
Chris Cyborg, Gina Carano. If you put those people on your list, I can't not argue. Like I understand.
Yeah.
Like those are 2 absolute legends. I'm more on the Cyborg camp because she's still doing it today. Gina was very, very pioneerish, and when it kind of got close to being good, she was done.
It was brief. That's my problem with Gina. It's just like it was such a short career, Yeah. But like 8 fights. How many people are we putting on men's MMA Mount Rushmore that only had 8 professional fights?
0. We get on Habib Nurmagomedov for being 29-0. It's like
that's not even
longer.
Enough. Yeah,
come on.
I can't.
I agree with that. The UFC's evolution has been awesome. Seeing matchup change more towards fighter rather than style and stuff. Yeah, Dawson, great comment. Like always, my man. Appreciate you. I think our main man, Michael Garapi, I'm the best. That's the Rose Namajunas thing, I believe. I'm the best. Whoa, long comment here. Y'all remember when Ronda was on top, was actually calling out Floyd Mayweather to a boxing match. Looking back, I can't believe people. Yeah, dude. So Brendan Schaub said this
again, Dave. We can't get into this again.
No, I know. So I'm gonna.
We have had the conversation about women fighting men before.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Just go back and watch the old shows. I don't want to get into that again.
My thing that Brendan Schaub said that I think, Elle, you'll really like this, because I think we do 90% of the other thing and then 10% of this. Brendan Schaub is like starting to get really annoyed with the MMA media space and Haktui Girl and Neon and people calling out Nate Diaz at press conferences and stuff. He goes, you don't see any of that at NFL or NBA. Like there can be a little of that. It seems like the MMA, especially UFC, it's 90% of it. And he's like, it's pretty wild that the MMA media space, there's a lot of garbage, absolute garbage. Elle, you're at the best gym in the world, American Top Team. You hear things. There's rumors going around. Maybe you even know some things of a big fight coming up at the end of the year. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
I might know things. Maybe.
How other media accounts, it is the dumbest thing ever that they make these posts and they're like, oh, Armand said I'm getting ready for December, so this fight's in the works. Every fight is in the works. Like I'm just fighting as they're going to make 100.
This is Dave's biggest pet peeve.
It's my big, like in the works. What? Do you not understand? Like every fighter is talking about in the works. Every single one. I'm like not even joking. They're already talking. The UFC is talking about what's Izzy's next move. So can I say Izzy and Kaio is in the works? They're probably like discussing it behind the scenes. It makes a lot of sense. It's a fight night main
It'll
event.
probably happen eventually, honestly.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm just going to post about it and say it's done. It's in the works. It's like, it's the dumbest thing ever. Every championship fight we kind of see, guys, Bilal and Shavkat Rakhmonov is in the works. Like, that's probably going to happen next. It's just, it makes sense. People drive me up a wall with that. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that me fighting a girl with zero training is a banger? That's a 10-second shutout. Don't do me dirty like that, Dixon.
Dawson
That got me feeling. I took that personally. Where are we at? That's why Dana hates Ariel. I think they have some behind the scenes beef that we don't even know about too.
Yeah, Tom Aspinall, John Jones in the works.
In the works.
John Jones, DC4 in the works. Like, any fight is in the works. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Dixon, my guy, he said I take it back.
Dude,
we're good. You and me, we're good. We're good. No worries.
A real one. So crazy. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes left in the show. I got to.
Let me just say, if a show like the thing that keeps the UFC somewhat pure is that they never, well, minus CM Punk, they have never had an influencer fight. And we need to keep it that way. The only way the sport does not absolutely dissolve, because we'll never not have people calling out like fighters and things like that. We'll never be quite like the NFL, because the UFC is fighting, and fighting and football are two different things. One is purely a sport and one is fighting. But the one way that we can keep it from getting too crazy is if the UFC just continues to keep high-level professional athletes under their organization and not allow any of this other ridiculous baloney. That is my TED Talk. Thank you for coming.
Go Dawson, everyone. Go Dawson. I'm writing that number down. We're 1 minute 51 into it. That's going to be a real. Go Dawson. Okay. So
Contender Series is the next evolution of tough. I agree. Sorry, I didn't mean to click off your thing.
You're good. You're good. Yep, you're good.
Ooh.
Okay. Elle, Dawson, you ready? I really wanted to save this for Maddie as well. Just never linked up. We went to literally an hour straight with 3 amazing guests. Yann Oliveira was awesome. Francis Marshall, absolute stud. Dude, he looked amazing. Of course, Gillian Robertson always looks amazing.
That's the one influencer fight I'm down for. Is Dave
me and Ben hung out all the time in Washington, D.C. We talked for 2 hours. Fight Bananas and Ben Davis has stuff in the works. Okay, let's just say that. Do you guys think the UFC has a point to become foreign late? 100%.
I mean, it has to. That's how you become a better organization. Like, they're still the best in the world right now. Like, I can't really complain that it's become more professional. Like, do you prefer it in the early days where it was more chaotic?
I guess professional and formulaic to me are two different things. Like,
this is the best comment of the day. I'm sorry. I mean, the NFL is formulaic. They don't all of a sudden change everything. Okay.
Christian, I don't know if you've won anything from us before or not. I feel like you did. I feel like I've sent you something.
But I will give him another t-shirt.
Yeah, Christian, DM us. We're sending you a shirt, a hat. Dude, look at this. We got brand new PFL hats here. We'll get something to you, my man. These are exclusive. We got shirts.
Dave's going to autograph them for you.
I got Gold Bar whiskey. We'll send you something. Christian, unbelievable comment. Dude, that is the video. Ross Levine, Dan Hooker. So we got to do all the Maddie Levine. I got that labeled.
Hangry Dana's behind. Ross Levine is Maddie's husband. I don't know if you were on the show, but Maddie has a giant crush on Dan Hooker, apparently. So,
wow.
This is the story. I missed a really important comment earlier from Dixon. Dixon, when and where is Tuesday, every single Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. Are we going to be exclusively on YouTube again next week?
Yeah. We're going back to YouTube. This went really well. Really well here on YouTube.
So we're going to stick on YouTube page. is where you find us every Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern.
Dixon, we appreciate it. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff on YouTube. We've usually done stuff on Facebook, and we want checks from different revenue streams. That's what we're doing. All right, Chris. There you go. So that's that. I almost want to say my question. I think my question is too good to wrap it up in 5 minutes. I don't know. You tell me. You want it? You want the question, Elle, or you think another time?
Why not? I'll do my best to answer it. It'll be fine.
Awesome. Henry, we've done that for 3 years. We've been on Facebook, our Facebook page is pretty massive. We're trying to build just our YouTube page up, and this is our second YouTube page. Our first one kind of got hoaxed, so I think it's a restream. All right, here's the question, and let me give the credit where credit's due. I'm finding it. I saw it from an MMA page. Here we go. It's called weird.mma on IG. Good page. Go give them a follow if you want. It's weird.mma. And they're saying, what has been the best 12-month run in UFC history? They gave us 4 options. And let me know if there's another option. 1, first earliest option, Junior Dos Santos. June 11 to May 12, defeated Shane Carwin to become #1 contender, where Shane Carwin was a monster. Defeated the great Cain Velasquez during Cain's prime to win the championship, and then successfully defended his world championship against Frank Mir. That is a great run.
That is a great run.
Great run. So that's one of them. Thank you for working for James Lynch. No, we love some James Lynch. James Lynch is absolute stud. I didn't push the button, so I'm sorry. There you go. There's the comment.
We love James.
Yeah, absolutely love. So there's one, Dos Santos. The second one, John Jones. Kind of funny. September of 11 to September of 12. Defeated Rampage Jackson, defending this championship. Defeated Lyoto Machida, defending this championship. Defeated Rashard Sugar Evans, defending this championship. And Vitor Belfort. 4 fights, 12 months. Unbelievable run. Number 3, October 22nd to October 23rd, Islam Makhachev. Charles Oliveira, Alexander Volkanovski. Very good. And now the run we are presently in right now. The great Poatan, Alex Pereira. July to June, Jan Blachowicz, Yuri Prochazka to win the championship, Jamal Hill, and Yuri Prochazka once again. 4 wins, 12 months. How good is that? That is a great question. Am I right?
It is a fantastic question. And the correct answer is John Jones. Because absolutely every single person on that resume was a legend. An absolute legend. I think that Poatan is a freaking monster. And his run is not even over, you know, but I think he got knocked out by Izzy. So there's a teeny little blot. And I don't think it's complete yet. Now, if Poatan goes up to heavyweight, beats heavyweights, my opinion totally changes, because crossing weight classes and winning belts, even across different weight classes, is absolutely unreal. But as of right now, I still stand with John Jones.
I agree. And you ready for one more? People are not going to love this comment, but I've been honest for 1 hour and 59 minutes. I'm not going to stop now. Rampage, Lyoto, Sugar, and Vitor. Maybe they had some extra juicy juice running through their veins. I'm not saying John didn't. I'm not saying John didn't, but he fought 4 guys at their peak ability in a way. Rampage, Lyoto, Rashard, Vitor, 4 legends, 4 Hall of Famers, 4 champions. And it's funny, I don't know why that 4th fight does something different. Like 3 in a year is like amazing and kind of, I don't want to say the average, but if you win 3, like you're there. If you win 4 in 12 months, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it's a big
thing.
That's one of the busiest
Yeah.
Like one of the busiest runs as well. Like when we see guys get belts, like a lot of times they don't necessarily defend it that often. So it's yeah, you can't really argue with that. I think that one's pretty clear. I agree with this comment too. Absolutely love the 2020 to 2022 Charles run.
Yeah.
Like I just remember when Khabib retires, nobody was like, "Yeah, Charles Oliveira is going to be champ here pretty soon." Like that was on nobody's bingo card, and I love that happened. It was just such an incredible story.
Yeah. And during that run, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje. It's funny, Leprechaun. I almost added Kevin Holland. He did go 5-0 in a 12-month run. I almost added it. 3 of those fighters are not even in the UFC anymore.
Yeah,
one is unranked. So yeah, it's a good win. 5 is a lot. So I agree.
We're comparing to like title fights to prelims.
Yeah,
at that
I
point,
like
you know.
Even the Dos Santos thing. Shane, guys, Google image Shane Carwin. Like,
I'm gonna find. Hang on, I'm gonna pull one up in case people don't know.
We're over 2 hours. We are over. But
hang on. We gotta find the scariest picture of Shane. Oh, here's like
Leprechaun. You're the best, dude. Appreciate you. Hopefully, hey, sub the new YouTube channel. All right, sub the channel. Sub.
I won't find the picture.
Leprechaun, sub the channel. Tell a friend. Did you find a picture?
Go send our YouTube to all your best buddies.
Wait. Don't Google image Shane Carwin. Something crazy might come up. Do you feel, guys, Kevin, who come on the scene super active, will have a career longevity we talked about today?
Depends on the fighting style.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there's guys that fight 30 fights and take very little damage. And then there's guys that have short, really exciting careers that take a ton of damage, you know? Yeah. And then there's guys that fight in a very exciting way that take a lot of damage that still have super long careers. Like
Max Holloway,
Dustin, and Max, like, have all been in just so many bangers.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Sean, we appreciate you, brother. Our Facebook original coming over to YouTube. Appreciate it, Sean. Sub, give it to Jones. You got cracked. Oh no, I'm not talking about long term. I'm just talking about that 1 year run was a great run, guys. Cain Velasquez, dude, Elle's husband will argue is the greatest heavyweight in the history of the sport. Dos Santos beat him in Cain's prime. That was Cain's prime. Dos Santos beat him straight up. So there you go. Neal versus Holland in a rematch. That one.
Volkanovski did have a hell of a run too. He wasn't even on the list.
Volk?
Yeah,
but like his is a 4-year run. Like he was never super active in the peak of his run. If you look back in it.
Hang on. Yeah, that's true. There's not. So like 2019 2 fights, 2021 fight, 2021 2 fights. He never had like a super.
Yeah.
I mean, just listen to this run though, and this will be the last thing I say, and then we'll get off. He went Chad Mendes, straight to Jose Aldo, Max Holloway twice, then beat Brian Ortega, then obviously Korean Zombie was tail end of his career, but then went back and beat Max again. That right there is like a 2018 to 20.
And Yair Rodriguez after that.
But that was after he lost to Islam the first time. But I was just talking that 1 win streak right there is 4 years, but still pretty unreal.
Mike Malott versus Trevin Giles. Now it's breaking news. There we go. Henry Dana, thank you. I believe that's November 2nd on the Edmonton show, if I believe. Who do you got? I got Mike Malott all day, every day, especially on Saturday. There you go. I just made that up, Elle.
Dave. All right, Dave clearly needs to be done with the internet today. So we're going to peace out. Thank you guys so much. Join us next week on the YouTube. Follow the YouTube. Send it to all your friends. Thanks. That's all.
Can we push the button now?
You can push the button now.
All right, guys. Elle Dawson, Dave Van Auken. That was a good ending. Wait. Last thing, Elle, can you say something inspirational to all the people?
Follow the YouTube. Subscribe, like, send it to all your friends.